An announcement of 3 executive sessions, April 9th to discuss litigation and personnel, April 1st to discuss personnel, and March 13th to also discuss personnel. Public comment, anybody got anything? Please, yeah, if you don't mind.
Yeah, I have, my name's Don Cabot, I have 3 things I'd like to know. Where do we stand on getting video in here? Can you tell me, so we can see what's going on, or have, video chat, or whatever you want to do? Zoom, anything, are we working on that at all?
Yes.
You want to talk about it? We just had this.
Well, I'm just saying, yeah, we just got a video recorder because we're having some issues with the phone and transferring data off of it. We're also discussing the potential of live streaming. I had to do a little bit of research on that first.
Okay.
The live streaming was discussed. The problem that I had was getting it so EBT would let us get to the outside world.
Okay.
Through the firewall and stuff. We have a sonic wall. So it's difficult to do that. This, I don't believe, is gonna help us. It's his phone that's gonna help us accomplish it. I'm in the middle of working on a donation from my company to here for security cameras, but more importantly, one for this room that has speaker and microphone on it. So we could also do it and just have it here at all times. We tried to do it through Facebook here, but for some reason we can't get it to go live to Facebook. We're struggling with it. Technology is not showing strong points, what I'm learning today.
All right, second thing, where do we stand on the Hendricks property?
Which one, bud?
The Hendricks?
The developments down here, Blantyre, north and south. So we're just in the middle of preliminary. We denied his plan. He promptly went straight to the courthouse. He's gonna sue us. I told him, I says, you should have just talked to us so we could all save some money here. I've had a couple of conversations with him here and there, and I'm just waiting for him to take the next step, let me know what he wants to do.
Okay. And third thing I want to know, Mr. Crawford, last time you was here, you said you had application for the zoning hearing board, and you didn't.
Then why are we swearing him tonight, or why are we appointing him tonight?
Yeah, well, when I asked you then, you said you had applications, and I know you didn't. Why did you tell us, everybody here, that you did?
The night that you were sitting back there and raised holy hell about it, at the end of that meeting, in the at the comment section, I addressed everybody in the room. I said, if anybody here wants to apply for any of the positions, please fill out an application.
Yeah, okay, but
What was filled out needs to be appointed.
But you told me you had applications already. And it's on recording.
Well, when I told you, when was the discussion?
That was the last, yeah.
Well, they put it in that night.
Actually, so we had one for Mr. Bro before that, a conversation with him about it.
Yeah.
That's the last time I spoke to you about it, which we back in February, but I couldn't, we
I
couldn't make a
put
decision
a right to
until.
know in, and Sean gave me all the information, there was no applications at all.
Maybe you spoke out of turn, misunderstanding, I don't know.
It must be, because I know we put it in because we're appointing him tonight.
Yeah,
Same guy.
well, it's called maybe CYA, I think that's what I'm thinking.
Excuse me?
I think it's called CYA.
No, Sean, you need to find that application. And I don't want to hear his voice.
I can give you the right to know request.
Yeah. I'll look into it for you.
All right.
No big
I
deal.
know there was one turned in.
I just wanted to find out because you told me
Right.
right that night, you had applications,
And I would not sit
and I
here,
asked, and I put a right to know.
and I would not sit here and lie to you. I wouldn't tell you I had something if I didn't have it.
Okay, well, I'll wait to see
All right.
at the end. Let me know when you
And
get.
unfortunately, Dave can't be here tonight because he just had shoulder surgery, but he is accepting an appointment.
Okay.
That it? Okay. Now we're gonna have the swearing in for the oath of office for a new fire marshal, Mr. D. Donato. Mr. Saylor's here from the magistrate. After which I'll have Nate, you can talk, introduce yourself to everybody, and we'll welcome you on board, buddy.
Thanks, sir.
Can you come on up here and
Yeah.
with Mr. Saylor? We got a Bible in here? We need a Bible? I got one on that.
What's up, man?
in my truck.
Good to see ya. How are you doing?
Oh, you have you? Do you need a?
Unless you have a different oath. Do you have a different oath?
No, I just took this off.
Pledge allegiance to the flag,
What's it say?
come on.
Okay. There you go, Nathaniel. After we get a Bible, do we have a Bible?
I got one on the dashboard of my truck, you wanna go grab it?
Would you grab, I don't know if we have one, or I'm sure we do, I don't know if
I
it's
have
in
it,
the
definitely,
state.
yeah.
Okay.
By the way, I'm Judge Saylor. It's an election year this year too, so. You guys never invite me to things. You guys invite, I don't care about parties, you understand me? I don't care if Republican down, I don't care. I don't see that in my courtroom. I see people, that's what I see. I'm a bad politician anyway. You a good politician? No. Okay, Nathaniel. Is it D. Donato?
Donato, yes, sir.
All right, that's it.
Maybe you can tell us a little bit about your background while we're waiting.
Yeah, absolutely.
There you go.
So my name is Nathaniel Donato. I came from White Marsh County as their fire inspector within the fire marshal's office. I've been a volunteer firefighter for over 10 years. I have experience in fire inspection, plan review, and fire investigation.
And just let you know, I heard good things about him from our people up in Hooversville, so. You wanna hold the Bible?
And I would like to take a picture.
There you go. Place your left, raise your hand. Place your left. There you go. I, Nathaniel D. Donato,
I, Nathaniel Donato,
do solemnly swear
do solemnly swear
that I will support, obey, and defend
that I will support, obey, and
the
defend
Constitution of the United States
the Constitution of the United States
and the Constitution of the Commonwealth,
and the Constitution of the Commonwealth,
and that I will discharge the duties of
that I will discharge the duties of
Fire Marshal
Fire Marshal
in Upper Frederick Township, Montgomery County,
in Upper Frederick Township, Montgomery County,
with fidelity.
with fidelity.
Congratulations.
Thank you, sir.
We'll get you to sign this up here.
Nice to meet you.
You're the official. You're the official. You're right there. You're the official.
It's beautiful.
It is the night, right, all day, right?
Yes, sir.
That's all yours. Okay, congratulations again.
Thank you.
Thanks a lot again for having me over, okay? You can invite me anytime, okay?
Appreciate it.
If I'm available, I'll come over swearing by it. Take care, young man. Good to see you, Matt.
You too.
Thank you, Sean.
Thank you, sir. Do you require a copy?
No, I'm good.
Okay. Thank you very much.
You can keep that original. Yep.
Okay.
Yep. Have a good meeting.
Capital D-I. Capital D-I.
Do you want to do it?
Right now?
You with the judge before he leaves?
Usually I'm
Your Honor,
Quick photo?
they're gonna get a quick photo if you don't mind. before
Oh,
you take
sure.
your robe.
Wait until you took your robe off.
That's fine, you're good.
I just got big shoulders. You guys want to get in there?
No, get there early. I'm standing in front of everybody.
He wants me on the other side.
There you go.
Yeah, let them get first.
I'm good,
No, you
I'm
can
good.
get first. I just get all zipped up here, sorry.
All right.
We should wear this at the next game.
Yeah, you want me to wear it next game?
All set?
Good.
All right, thank you
All right.
again.
Congratulations again, young man. Do good work. Yep, no problem.
All right, moving right along. Meeting minutes. Bill and Lisa, you guys had time to review the meeting minutes, I'm sure by now?
I did,
You did? I did.
I don't find anything wrong with it, I'd like
Is
to make a
Fisher still on the
motion.
phone?
Lisa, you still there?
Yes, I'm here.
Okay.
All right. You were able to review the meeting minutes from March, Ms. Fisher?
Yeah.
Okay, you as well, Bill?
Yes, I'll make
Okay.
a motion to approve the minutes as written.
I second. All those in favor?
Aye.
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 Motion passes 3-0, Sean.
Great, treasurer's report. So we are officially 1/4 of the way through the year. Revenues collected are at 19.12% of the budgeted year for our general fund. They're traditionally low or, not in full pace first 3 months of the year as we collect real estate taxes. Current collections of real estate taxes are at just under 14.6% of the budget and ahead of the prior year by $8,887. Real estate transfer taxes are at 38.42% of the budget and more than prior year by $12,687. The earned income tax is at 26.01% of the budget, so right around target, and more than the prior year by $2,909. Interest income is at 41.67%. General municipal pension shows a negative balance due to the previously mentioned forfeiture due to a unvested employee leaving the plan, or 2 employees leaving the plan last year. Building permits are at 80.24% of the budget and more than the prior year by $7,775. We've seen quite a bit of building permitting. And expenditures paid are at 34.87% of the year. One big development for the Ivy Ridge Fund this year, we learned there was an $11,000 bill due to PICO. Essentially, when I got a hold of PICO, what had happened is around February of last year, the account was changing, like PICO's account number for the Ivy Ridge plant changed. Around the same time, billing stopped going for that account to the township building, and I assume with the personnel turnover in the next few months, just nobody noticed. So that plant uses an incredible amount of power, as you can imagine, so this essentially just exacerbates the old issue of the $44,000 that was owed from the Ivy Ridge Fund to the general fund. So we can now essentially look at that as being $55,000.
Great.
So, not a good development in that sense, but to end on a positive note, we did receive our state liquid fuels money in the amount of $116,357, or $116,357. So, wanted to end on a high note.
Let me touch on that. I don't think it was so much the turnover as we were sending it to the plant itself, the bill never came to the township. Nobody had any idea the bill was even going there, and the only way I uncovered it was, I called PICO to get all the other numbers straightened out. They were going to personal email addresses. They weren't coming to Upper Frederick Township. A bunch of the bills were just going to regular people. So, in uncovering that, we had several park suppliers for our roads department doing the same thing. And I had gotten a bill that was overdue, and I'm going, where are you sending this? I haven't seen one of these in like 8 months. The guy tells me a personal email address, and nobody had any idea what was going there. So now, everything comes to the township and is being billed properly. Up until then, it wasn't.
So what are we doing exactly to get caught up with this Ivy Ridge situation? I bring it up at every meeting, and now it's happening. What I predicted would happen, it's going to expand and get worse as time goes on. And here we are. It probably went up another 25% over what it was already sitting at 44,000. Now it's up to 55. So where does this end, or where do we get this back into control?
That's what we're working through right now. So the people in the development had no idea that this was even an issue. They said they were never told about it. So I had called for a meeting with them, as I did with Park Crossing, to go over these things. And and informing them of it, they wanted all kinds of information, so they write to know it. We give it to them, they deny knowing anything about it, so we have a meeting scheduled with them. When is that? It's next couple of days.
Yeah.
So we're gonna meet with them, and they're gonna have to figure something out there.
I'll be honest with you, I find it really upsetting, because it's at the point where it's just not an oversight, or it's not something that's not really being looked at properly, it's just not being managed. If you take on the responsibility of managing what goes on up at Ivy Ridge and Perk Crossing in regard to their water and sewer, then you need to actually manage it. You can't talk about having a meeting about the meeting and have this thing grow.
Well, we can't force the HOA to attend a meeting before they're able to. I mean, the money is known, it's not accruing any sort of debt to them, it's money from one fund transferred to another, they will have to pay it back. But working with them is an important thing to do as residents of the community. I mean, the issue here, George, is that they have 47 customers running one wastewater treatment plant. That is super low margins in terms of customers to operating costs. So, I mean, really, if you want to talk about, you know, a looming disaster, I mean, this thing could have been forecasted probably from the time Ivy Ridge was dedicated to only 47 customers. But, you know, we have to work with the cards we're dealt. This original emergency repair took place, what, 3 years ago?
Right.
I think, so, I mean, there's nothing we can do short of getting a time machine, going back there and trying to.
Well, let me just help you out here a little bit. It's almost 3 years, it's about maybe not quite $1,000 per household. If they were charged $1 a day going back 3 years, this debt would have already been satisfied at $1 a day. We're not talking about a lot of money, but if you just sit there and talk about it and never move forward on it, the debt's gonna remain the
I
same.
can't do anything about 3 years ago, George.
No, I'm not saying that, but we need to do something now. Bill and Lisa have been in office for over a year now, 15 months.
I've inherited this problem, George.
Yeah,
So
I know
don't
that.
stop. So you're not a genius. It isn't like you figured out it was gonna jump by 25%. Everybody knew it. But you're dealing with bureaucracy. We're waiting. I can't just go, you're gonna give me 44,000, got it? No, I gotta come up with a plan, a payment plan, and they gotta agree to it. I can't just strap them financially. So it takes a little bit of working through, and this is how it works, right?
I don't agree.
You don't agree? So how would you handle it, George?
I
Tell us all how you would handle
will
it.
come up with a plan where it would
Well,
be.
that's what we're doing. I wanna know how you're gonna solve it
No,
tomorrow.
I just, unless you're gonna sit there and interrupt me, let me finish what I was gonna say. You need to come up with a comprehensive plan that would talk about specific numbers, specific timelines, and move forward. But to sit here and talk about, well, we're gonna meet with them next week or the week after, and then we come in the next meeting and we're still talking about the same old thing, that's not a plan. You have to come up with specifics and sit down and really iron this thing out.
I have specifics, George, but I can't address them until they agree to meet with me, all right? So Perk Crossing, I wanted to fix their hydrant problem over there. They weren't gonna meet until January. We wanted to talk to them in October of last year.
Well, Ms. Vicky, you're the solicitor, what, legally, where do we stand on this? Do we have any loan agreement or any kind of
It's our fund.
promissory note?
It's a fund from the general fund to the Ivy Ridge Fund,
Yeah, I'm not aware of any agreements that are in place.
because they're both our funds.
We own it.
Yeah.
There is no loan. It was never a loan. It was, we have this money, we're gonna put it over here to pay for it. They said the same thing. It's not a loan, we own the treatment facility. That's how this works. So,
Yeah, but they're responsible for their
They're responsible for funding the account that pays for these things, and it didn't have enough savings to pay for it. But we can't just shut down 47
I'm not asking you to
customers.
do that, I'm asking you to come up with a game plan where you start moving forward with this
We're
thing.
working on that, apparently not at the tempo you would like, George, but we are working on that.
Yeah, I mean, the only other option would be to, if you've made the demands but then they haven't paid it, usually there's a back and forth first, and then the
Right, yeah.
final resolution would be to take them to court and sue them for it. But my guess is that if the HOA fund, if the HOA association itself doesn't have the money,
That's not the customer, though. The individual 47
I
residents
understand that,
pay fees.
to the
So-
HOA.
No, to the township.
So there's no HOA over there that collects the fees on behalf of the
No,
individuals?
they are
So we'd have to
utility
sue all
customers of the
47
township.
people individually?
We wouldn't have to do that. We would raise their fees, which is what we're talking about with the Ivy Ridge HOA. The sewer fees were raised at Ivy Ridge around or after the time of this original emergency repair. And apparently, it was just enough to continue keeping,
Sure.
their head above water in terms of that fund. So, there's never been any time, even since those fees were last raised in the last couple of years, for that capital fund to save any money. So they're looking at potentially having their fees raised again, which is something we want to talk to their HOA about. And, because there was, I'm told a lot of questions from that community the last time the fees were raised in the last couple of years. So again, we want to get a pulse from the HOA, that community, talk about the urgency of the situation, and, go from there.
Could you not assess every unit $1,000?
Probably could.
We own it, we
I
can
don't
do
know
it.
if
It's an option we can discuss with the HOA when we meet them, but again, this is not a financial burden on the township's general fund. It's just something that needs to be addressed before these things continue to happen, because it's not taking in as much money as it's spending. It's just as simple as that.
It was just a poor design, poor man, I don't know whose idea it was to put 47 houses on a sewage system like that.
But that doesn't matter at this point, Bill.
I totally understand it, George, but I can't go tell someone, give me $1,000. Maybe they can't afford it, George, right? So I gotta work with them. I'm not here just to work
I
with
already
George, I'm
told
here
you
to work with them.
that at $1 a day, if you started to pay this back when it initially happened, this would have been resolved already. It's not a lot of money, Bill.
So
You're acting like it's a
in the
mega
interest of
No,
just
George,
addressing
what I'm acting like
everything
is these people didn't even know about it. That's what we're trying to tell you. When did they find out? When I called them a couple months ago. That's when everybody found out. And then when I tell them, they say, give me every ounce of information you have on this. We spend about a week trying to dig through and figure out where it all is. We give it to them a week later. They review it, get back with us 2 weeks later, so we're a month down the road, and here we sit, George. So I'm working through this, just like I worked on everything else. But I can't make it work at breakneck speed, because not everybody over there is flush with cash.